Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Dungeon Nytes, our Monday night campaign based on Rime of the Frostmaiden. Last week, we saw 4 college students at the Neverwinter University of Adventurers get a little bit of a history lesson from their professor, Professor Alston, and he informed them that their next class would actually be somewhat of a demonstration or a showcase related to Icewind Dale, which they were learning about the day before. So, as they all made their way back to the classroom the next day, the professor took them and allowed them to outfit themselves in a plethora of gear. Some winter garb with some packs, some gear, some equipment, some weapons, all the fun things that they would need to properly show what life is like in Icewind Dale. He then took them back to his classroom and created a portal out of his front door that allowed them to pass seamlessly to Icewind Dale. And to Icewind Dale they did go, except when Poppy was last through the portal looked like it became unstable and collapsed while all 4 of them were on the other side. And unbeknownst to them, that sound triggered an avalanche, which then fell on top of, well, all of them, burying 3 of them. After freeing themselves, they looked around, tired, cold, a little bit worse for wear. And at the very end of the episode, they were met with the unfortunate sound of something terrible near them. That's what happened last week. So this week...
Cliffhanger!
This week, we pick up where we left off. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's see, where do I want to be? Yeah. That's about right. That's about right. As you all turn to look around, as you hear this noise, it sounds a little bit in the distance, but not too far. Dangerously close.
I don't know what that was, but I don't like the sound of this at all.
Agreed. We need to get out of here. I've got the beer. You've got the something. I mean, we've got stuff and shoes, and that direction is not where the sound is. So I think we go that way.
You think whatever it is that we can outrun it in the condition that we're in?
We have to try.
I mean, yeah. And she's gonna book it. She's not gonna, care too much. You guys are following. She would literally pat, little feet, hoof things are in the opposite direction of that sound.
As Tia kind of goes, ugh, and scoops herself up from the ground, and then with some effort hoists this giant axe up over her shoulder and takes off after Tika.
Drathar, are you coming?
I guess we don't have much choice now, do we?
No.
You're all tied together.
I don't think so. That's right, we are, aren't we?
I don't think she'll make it very far. Unless
Are you
we
gonna let
actually go.
Tika just hit the end of the rope here?
I mean, I'm coming with.
I'm being dragged along, I think. Drathar, please follow me.
Okay. While we're going, can I do a quick perception check to see if I can see anything?
Absolutely.
2.
What's your modifier?
Let's do. I already
Ooh.
added it in. So I rolled a 20. Dirty 20.
Drathar, you hear that roar, and you kind of stop, and you look around, trying to ascertain really where this thing is coming from. It's hard. The wind is howling, the storm and the avalanche still kind of raging around you. It's hard to see anything. You maybe can see 15 feet in front of you. Tika's already kind of getting out of your field of vision, and you're just kind of everything whirling about you. You're able to ascertain that sound, though, is coming from the east. And as you all are running kind of westward, you hear the sound of footsteps gaining quickly in the snow. As you turn behind you to look, you see a faint outline in the blizzard. That outline then immediately darts out of your vision, almost like it's trying to get a flank on you, and you hear just this sliding in the snow. And you know that in one swift kind of motion, it is now probably somewhere in the area of 15 feet in front of Tika.
Tika, I believe it's near you now. It's quick. We cannot get away from this. We're going to have to somehow fight this thing.
What do you mean it's in front of me? It was just behind me.
Oh, no, it's in front of you.
Oh god, it's in front of me.
Tika, as you turn around, after having looked back at Drathar, you turn around, and just outside of your vision, you see this outline of a large creature, scarily large, probably standing on all 4 of its feet. It measures somewhere in the area of 7 feet tall from foot to back. You can make out these kind of pointy-ish type ears off of its head. It has a very broad kind of face and has these piercing yellow eyes that are really the only thing you can discern out of the snow, aside from the fact that it stands on all 4s.
Tika at this point is going to turn to everybody. I was a little drunk during class yesterday. What did the professor say? I know he mentioned beasties and defense and not dying in the snow. Anybody?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It could be a lot of different things. It could be like, it could be a yeti. It could be an ice troll. Like,
Right now, I don't think we have the time for a class. I think it's going to try to kill us. So we should probably get ready.
And we're going to roll for initiative.
oof,
All right, Estia,
11.
Drathar,
15.
Poppy,
13.
and Tika.
I'm a singer, not a fighter. I'm a 3.
Wait, did you say 13 for Poppy?
Yeah.
How is that?
12 plus 1.
You have an 18.
Oh, well, I rolled the dice and I'm looking at. Oh, you're right. Okay, sorry. 19 then.
19.
I was like, there's no way you have a negative
I
5
well
initiative.
because
There's
I'm
no
well no
way.
because I was red before and I'm looking at
Yeah,
Drathar,
I
so
got what you're
like-
saying.
Hold on. So we'll do
Never
that
mind.
again. Drathar,
15.
15. Poppy, you said you have
19.
19. Tika, 3?
5.
Oh, 5. Okay. All right. And Estia?
You have it correct. 11.
Okay. Well, no, I'm redoing it. I
Oh,
had to redo it.
11.
All right. Poppy, you're up first. You hear Tika yell about this thing to you, and you look, and you can see less than she can, but you still see this large, monstrous shape.
far?
Snow is whipping around in front of you. You would estimate it's probably a good 20 feet from you. You each are probably around 5 feet apart from each other, meaning that Drathar, you bringing up the rear, you're probably around 30 feet away.
Can I hold an action
Sure, you can hold
to
an
see
action.
what it does?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to hold an action to see what it does because I don't know what to do.
Okay. Drathar.
Can I try to circle around partially as much as I can? Like, keep the rope somewhat loose, but not get right up to it. Maybe get about 15 feet away, and then try to stealth, because I assume it's snowing, right?
Yep.
Yeah, as long as there's snow, I can try to hide.
Okay. So you're gonna take the hide action?
Stealth.
You're gonna take a stealth action, right? Give me a stealth roll.
Yeah. Eight.
Drathar, you you try and kind of run around to give yourself a little separation and to try and kind of gain some ground on this creature with trying to keep yourself hidden. As you do, you don't realize that the rope is actually kind of caught around your foot in some of the excess, and you fall flat on your face about 10 feet into your trying to kind of be stealthy. And as you do so, you just kind of go prone. I'll let you use the rest of your movement to stand back up if you want.
Yeah, I'll stand back up.
You are now covered in snow, standing there. Cold.
Maybe he'll think I'm a Yeti.
Estia.
Okay, so sorry, how far away did you say it is?
From you,
Yeah.
you are second, so you are 20 feet away. Poppy was 25 feet away, I'm sorry. So Poppy's 25 feet away because she's behind you, and so you're
Okay.
20 feet away.
And this thing is obviously attacking us?
This thing just roared, tracked you,
Uh-huh.
and cut you off.
Okay. All right, just make sure.
And
Um,
it yelled,
for tea.
pretty loudly at Tika.
Can I cut myself loose of this rope and still have an attack?
I will count that as your interaction with an item
Okay.
to loosen yourself from the rope or to release yourself from the rope. And then, yes, I'll let you take an action.
Okay. I'm trying to figure out how to get out of this rope. I don't think I have a dagger. So Estia is going to reach out and fumble with the knots and try to rip herself out of being roped to her teammates. And then she's just gonna let out this just battle cry of surprising strength for someone so small and so motherly looking as she just hoists her axe and charges head on at whatever this thing is.
Would that be considered a certain type of thing?
I mean, she might want to
I mean, you
Go,
only get one bonus
fly into a
action.
rage.
So
what?
You only get one bonus action. So you've already untangled yourself from the rope. So at this point, you could be angry, but you're not quite there yet.
She's just really angry.
She's trying to be very intimidating.
Really angry. Yeah.
Super intimidating.
She hasn't quite figured out her own strength yet, as
Okay.
far as. So it's somewhat suppressed levels of anger.
All right.
Right at the surface.
So
of
you're going
what
to try
might
to
be
attack
called
this thing?
rage. Yeah.
All right. Let's see that attack roll.
I don't even know how this works.
D20. Let's go.
I get a 6.
What's your attack modifier?
It is. Where do you find that? +4.
So it's a 10.
So it's 10. Mm-hmm.
Still a miss. I see you heroically, with this nurturing instinct that you have and this fearless nature, see Tika terrified for her life as this thing roars into her face. You untie yourself and just start booking it. And you take your axe and you wield it high above your head. And as you get within 10 feet of this creature, you see that it's 7.5 feet tall. And you keep running, but your eyes get a little bigger. As you get 5 feet away, you can see this huge cat-like face with piercing yellow eyes and a huge face, undoubtedly with huge jaws, just look right at you as you run. And you are distracted by said countenance, and you pull up just a little short with your swing.
She may have underestimated the weight of that axe when she went to swing and just kind of, ugh.
There you go. And unfortunately, it is now this creature's turn.
Great.
It's looking for some blood here. That is a 13.
Nope.
Just as you are kind of startled by this creature is almost kind of startled by you. And as it reaches out to kind of swipe at you reflexively, its hand just misses you as it slams down next to your body with a big, and you look over and you see this massive paw with extremely sharp, huge-looking claws, the size of daggers. Antika, it's your turn.
So at this point, she's going to go ahead and give some bardic inspiration to our little axe wielder over there. And as she does this, so she's going to take her longsword and she's going to slice the rope. And as she does this, she's going to call out, "You can do it! We can defeat this!" And she's going to run. Wait, can I do that? Bardic inspiration is a bonus action. Can I cut and bardic and attack? I don't know how this works.
You're using bardic inspiration as an action. You can
It's a bonus
untie
action.
yourself with a bonus action, and then you can move, but you could not attack and use bardic inspiration.
Okay, so she's going to use. So I can't cut.
You can
And
move
bardic
yourself.
inspiration?
You can remove yourself from the rope. And you
Okay.
can use your bardic inspiration. So the
But I
one of
can't
those
attack.
is, so your bonus action is your item interaction. Your action is bardic inspiration.
Okay. So she's going to cut herself off, and she's going to go to try to help and attack this thing. But as she does, she just kind of stumbles over herself in the snow and doesn't quite get all the way over there.
So
So
you
she's
run
going
up to
to-
this thing.
Run up to it, but not quite make it because she's hooves on snow with the weird little feet thingy. She's struggling here. She's still a little drunk from this morning, had a couple too many shots. I mean, it's not going well for Tika. She's regretting everything.
The spirit
Cold's
is
kind
there.
of helping, but she's trying really hard.
It's nice that she runs towards the fight. That's great. All right, Poppy, it's up to you.
I am going to do. I'm gonna do cantrip firebolt,
Nice.
and let's see, that's what is it? A 1d10?
You get a roll to hit.
That's a d20, right?
Yep.
Okay. So 9 plus, so 12.
Poppy, you're going to kind of aim in the distance as you can kind of see an outline of this creature, and you're going to summon this firebolt. And as you release it, it kind of sails over the heads of Tika and Estia. And it also sails right over the shoulder of this massive cat creature, missing it.
Okay. So am I still tied to Drathar?
You are.
Let's see. Can I get myself free?
I'll let you do that as
And then-
bonus action. Uh-huh.
Okay. I'm going to free myself and move up towards the other two, but not quite up next to them.
Okay, so you're going to make yourself a little closer. As you move closer, you begin to see this kind of cat take form with its white fur and, again, huge yellow eyes and its enormous paws as the battle rages on. Drathar.
I am gonna loose myself from the rope with a bonus action, and then I'm gonna move as far to the side of it as I can, but still see it. And I'm gonna take aim at it with my longbow.
Okay.
It's fine. $14.
Roll for damage.
$8 plus sneak attack. So a total of 14.
Drathar, you make your way around to its side, pull back on your bow, and let loose this arrow. And the three of you standing in front of this cat, all you see is just this quick wisp of an arrow come in and hit right into this thing's side. Ooh, and it lets out this loud groan as it's pierced its side. Ugh. What was the total damage on that?
14 total.
You can see kind of heat and steam start to pour out of the side of this creature. The cat is pissed. It turns to kind of look and to see Drathar. And then turns its face back down below. And is going to take another swing at Estia.
Uh-huh.
That's a 16.
That'll hit.
This time, kind of hacked off, it comes down and just goes to bite you right on the shoulder, Estia. And as it finds purchase into your shoulder, it deals you 8 piercing damage as you can feel the teeth sink deep into your shoulder, kind of thrashing about as it does, and then it lets you go.
Yeah, Estia's not looking good, but she's still staying her ground.
Tika.
At this point, we are going to try to attack and see how that goes. So far, not so good. So she's going to take her longsword then, and use a 1d.
Wait a second. Was I supposed to have a turn before the cat after Drathar?
Oh crap! Yes, you were. I'm sorry.
But can I just do my turn now
Yes,
instead?
go for it.
Sorry.
No,
Red.
that's
I
my
just
bad.
was like,
That's my bad.
makes
I clicked
sense.
once too far on the initiative. My bad.
Okay.
Yes, go.
All right. So Estia is going to use her bonus action to, at this point, this thing just bit her shoulder, is attacking her whole team. Like, she's beyond angry, and she's just going to fly into a rage, like an actual full-blown rage. And she just says, ah! And picks up this axe that she, like, missed on the first swing, and she's just gonna, with all the might on this thing that's twice her size, just try to slice it right across the middle and do a fun little, like her whole body behind this this hefty swing.
Let's do it. Roll to hit.
So she gets 9.
She's going to miss, but what I am going to do for you, because it was my bad that we went out of order, is I'm going to let you take half the damage from that, so only 4 damage.
Right.
Because of your rage.
Okay.
So as you kind of you feel this rage build up within you and you take a swing, this thing sees it coming and kind of almost arches its back and just gets its way out of the path of your blade. As you once again are still kind of trying to get the weight of this thing down.
Wait, what does Bardic Inspiration do?
It allows you to add a dice roll to
Yeah, you can add a 1d6.
add a 1d6 to ability checks,
Okay.
attack rolls, or saving throws. So
And
even
save-
if you
okay.
had
No, go.
uh,
No.
yeah.
I wouldn't have used.
I prefer you guys to call that too before you use it, but still, before you roll. So
Oh, you have to call it before you roll?
I mean, or I guess before we like progress, right? Like if
Okay.
you once you see that you have a roll that you don't like and you want to use it, then call it right there.
Okay.
All right, Tika. Now it's your turn. You pull out
Now
your
we're
long
going to
sword.
attempt to attack. Well, she already has her longsword. She almost lost it in her stumbling ways, but she is going to go ahead and still trying to run the rest of the way and attack. Wait.
D20 roll first. Mm-hmm.
Roll.
Yes. Thankfully,
Let's
the
go.
roll.
Do I add anything to that?
You hit. You're good.
Okay.
You do add the attack modifier for your weapon. So whatever your attack bonus is, your attack modifier is.
Okay, so it'd be 18. Okay.
Okay.
Now we're gonna attempt to attack. So it's a 1d8.
Yep. So you hit. We just got to see how much damage you do.
1d8. Is it -1?
Let me check your
Okay.
sheet real quick. I actually have your sheet pulled up.
Okay. Why
It
would
is
be
a
-1?
1d8 -1.
Why is it -1?
If you're using two hands, it's a 1d10 -1. But one-handed, it's a 1d8 -1.
I mean, it's still more damage than I'm doing.
And
so
you rolled
like,
a d8,
take it.
so we're doing it.
At least you're hitting something.
So you
Okay,
hit it for
1
one damage.
It's for 1 damage, and yeah.
So in other words, you're annoying the crap out of it.
I am still. She's still very drunk. She goes for him, and she just barely nicks like his toe as she like falls in the snow. And at this point, like, I mean, that's just pissing him off. And she is actually like in the snow now because she's drunk on the ground. Her sword has just given him a little bit of like a toothpick stab. Tika's not doing very good, nor is she being very helpful.
1 damage is still 1 damage.
Hey, 9 more of those, and you'll clip all those toenails.
Poppy, we go to you.
I'm going to do another try the firebolt again. Where's my Wendy? 'What is that? 14.
That'll hit. Roll for damage.
10.
Nice.
Let's go.
Let's
Well,
go.
10 plus 3.
13.
That's even better.
Let's go.
Heck yeah.
Poppy, you moving a little bit closer this time have now a better sight of this big cat, and you aim square into the face of this thing and just create this firebolt in your hand and launch it right at its head. It hits square in the forehead and lights it up, and you can see the creature start swatting against its face to try and get the fire out. It's really upset now, but it's also really hurt. You can see kind of like burnt fur on its face, and some of it's still kind of singeing back into the ears. It's not looking good. Drathar.
Drathar is going to start running to the back of him, circling around, and then he is going to come to a sliding halt and again pull his longbow and take another shot at it, trying to hit him from the back. $15.
That'll hit.
And 14 damage again.
Beautiful. Drathar, as you run around behind this thing, once again draw your bow, loose the arrow. The three of you, all you see is just this arrowhead go straight through the neck of this creature. As it's trying to kind of put the flames out in its head, you just hear boom, and you see this thing go. A little blood sprays out on the three of you as the creature falls down straight in front of you, dead.
I helped, Tika's going to say, very energetically, as she moves as far away from the thing as she can and stands up.
Estia is just grasping her injured shoulder and says, I think I'm gonna need to sit down for a moment, and drops her axe, which was proven useless, and just like sits down in the middle of the snow.
Drathar is going to start slowly walking up, trying to keep an eye out, and he's just going to kind of say loud enough for them to hear, does that mean it's dead? Are all of you dead?
Not that I know.
I would assume it's dead. You can go check if you want. I'm gonna stay right here.
Poppy's gonna walk up and look at it and wonder to her, just sort of think to herself if it would make a nice coat. And then she's gonna look over at Estia and ask if she's okay.
Well, I mean, I've certainly been better, but we're all still alive, and apparently I need a little more practice with this axe.
I need to sober up, but more importantly, how the heck do we get back? Or where do we go?
Are there any landmarks? Can I do a perception check to look for like any landmarks or recognizable features? Is that possible?
Sure.
Would that be perception?
It would be.
I have 15.
It's really hard to see around you, but looking at kind of your overall situation and kind of taking into kind of account of where you kind of had been, you kind of look around and you realize that you guys had been kind of moving west when you ran away from this creature, and the avalanche kind of fell off of a mountain that seems to be, again, having your kind of natural bearings be what they are. You get the sense that this mountain face, the open side of this mountain face where the avalanche came down, was facing northwest. But aside from that, all you can really see is just kind of these hills of snow around you. You noticed as you were running, the elevation kind of changed slightly around you.
Any thoughts?
I don't know. I mean,
Trathar? Someone?
I suppose we start walking a direction until we find a road or a town or anything. At this point, we can't stay out here.
Do your Estia, do your maps cover this area?
I mean, it's hard to tell what this area is. There's definitely tons of mountains. I still have the map from what the professor gave us in our textbook, but knowing that there's mountains here doesn't really narrow it down very much.
Would anybody else be able to perceive anything more? I mean, Anna should have a decent roll.
I mean, you're in the snow. There is snow around you. Visibility is limited still to around 15 to 20 feet in any direction. You know, you're able to kind of perceive the mountains because they're so big and kind of standing tall against it, but you are stuck in the middle of nowhere in an icy expanse.
Well, we need to go somewhere. We don't have enough food to last too long. I guess let's scavenge this rope, stay connected, and keep moving.
Well, I think I solved some of our food problems just now.
Are we taking this thing with us?
We don't have to take it with us, but we can at least cut up some meat. And maybe
That's
some
fair.
of its pelt.
Looking at this creature, you see, and as you kind of run your hands through the fur, the hide you can feel is extremely thick. The hair on it probably goes a good 6 inches away from its body, if not more. It's all brilliant white with some parts that are kind of towards the underside, a little bit gray and dirty from being kind of wet and drug in the snow. But especially around the back and towards kind of the rear haunches area, it's just this brilliant, clean, white, thick fur. And from a meat perspective, this thing probably has to weigh a good 400 or 500 pounds. It is a very large creature.
How long have we been in this area?
Now,
Yeah.
at most a couple hours.
Okay. Can we tell if it's night or is it day? What time of day is it?
So you left the Neverwinter University of Adventurers in kind of the mid-morning time frame.
Okay.
And when you came through the portal and looked around, you saw around you that it was, kind of a twilight, but what you would assume might be fairly bright. Kind of looking up at the sky, you see nothing but clouds, but you're kind of perceiving that you might see kind of a brighter spot in the clouds. And if you assume that's the sun, it's, probably somewhere in the noon area. Certainly not bright by your normal standards.
I guess we pick a direction, grab some meat, and hopefully find people or things or a place or at least a shelter for the night.
Maybe this has been asked before, but can we tell how far we are from the mountains?
Based on how far you got away from the avalanche, you're probably a good 150 yards away from the mountains.
Well, Poppy is gonna just kind of wonder something. Because, she read this story once, wondering if it would be better to try and take some shelter to get the weather to calm down a little bit. And she read this story once that if it gets cold, we could always open up this animal and crawl in and keep warm if we had to.
It smells worse than Drathar. What are you talking about?
I want to point out I don't smell.
Compared to this, that was the whole point.
I will
The
say with that perception
the
check,
hero in that other story, it smelled bad, but he it helped keep him warm. I don't know. It's just a thought to see if we should, kind of wait the weather out a little bit. That's all.
I will say, based on your perception, you feel like now that you have made your way away from the mountains a little bit, that the visibility is getting a little better and the veracity of the storm doesn't seem so bad.
Do we have anything to get the pelton meat, or at least some pelton meat?
You got weapons?
Yeah.
I have
I don't know if Tika
They
should
got
take a
sharp,
long sword to
pointy
anything
things.
at this point.
One damage.
Honestly, she's probably gonna nick herself. Then I say we grab that and go, because we're losing daylight out here.
I think as long as there's daylight, we ought to find somewhere more suitable. And then as it nears closer to night, we can figure out where we're at that point. But we need to get a move on it if we're going to head anywhere now.
I also don't like the idea of sleeping inside this thing because it's probably going to attract all manner of beasts, and I don't need a whole pack of vampire penguins coming up on us while we're sleeping inside this thing.
Oh, certainly not. Let's grab what we need and get out of here.
I have at least some skill in skinning. Does anyone else have any survival knowledge?
I've never had any hands-on experience, but I've read a lot of books, and I could certainly give it a shot.
Someone go ahead and give me a survival check, and we'll see how long it takes you to, and see how long and what you're able to gather from this thing.
Okay. I have a 17. No, that's magic. Sorry. What did I roll?
I got a.
I don't have anything good, so never mind.
I have an 18.
Okay.
I think something about.
I'm continuously
survival.
useless
So am I.
with my 6.
I had a 12.
So, Magic, having kind of come from Golden Fields, you are aware of how to kind of handle meat, right? You've seen it done. You've interacted regularly with someone who would be a butcher, and you understand the general process. And so you kind of make your way through, kind of making an incision at the belly and trying to get some stuff out of it, and kind of separating the meat from the skin, and you're able to take off cleanly the entire kind of back section of this giant cat. It's probably good enough to make each one of you a decent kind of fur kind of pelt cover if you would want one. It's a lot of good stuff there.
Nice.
Geigen, as you kind of see her doing this, you're able to get a decent chunk of the meat off there. You're not familiar with this creature's anatomy all that well, so you're just kind of taking it, kind of the big parts that you can, and kind of leaving what you can't. There's some fairly substantial meat around none of the front legs and the back legs. It seems fairly easy to get to, so you harvest a good probably 30 pounds of meat off this thing without issue.
All right, ST is gonna finish slicing off the fur and kind of hand out, pretty good sized pelts to everyone. Here, we don't know when we'll need this to keep us warm. And then she's gonna grab, some of the meat and she's actually gonna take her pelt, wrap the meat up in it, and then put it in her backpack.
Tika's gonna go ahead and follow her lead, do the same since she's already in her big furry coat that she took from the school, and be ready to go.
Draythar's gonna take the meat, kind of wash it in the snow, then pack some snow around it, and then wrap it in his piece of the fur that he got, and then put it in his bag.
I want someone to give me a perception check.
I can do that.
Not it.
I can do it too. I've got good perception.
$22, natural 20.
16.
So, Poppy, you and Draythar, as you see Draythar kind of packing up this meat, you get the sense that perhaps you might be lingering here too long. And your original idea of kind of spending the night inside this creature, obviously with that not having been the case, that it might be a good idea to move on. You kind of get this like odd feeling like the hair is kind of standing up on the back of your neck. You just all of a sudden feel very uncomfortable. And Draythar, as you're packing up this meat and looking at the rest of the carcass, you realize that 1, the wind has changed, and 2, that's a whole lot of meat you just left, and it's hot and it smells, and you're in the middle of nowhere. Probably going to attract some attention from other creatures looking to make a meal out of it.
Hey everyone, I think it's a perfectly good time now that we should probably start heading away from the mountains before we start attracting who knows what.
I agree.
Couldn't agree more. Pick a direction. Let's get out of here.
Directly away from the mountain sounds like a very good direction right now. It seems to be clearer that way. We might be able to get a better bearing once we get a little further out.
Let's go. Before we head out, though, does anyone have any bandages? I don't want to leave a blood trail behind us.
No.
Excellent.
Wait. And at this point, she is going to do something she wouldn't usually do, but in a pinch, she is going to open her her fuzzy sweater, and she's going to rip off she has a little bralette underneath, and she's just going to kind of rip it off with her sword, and quickly close her sweater and hand it over. That's about all she's got for you.
Bless you, precious fawn. And wraps up her shoulder.
Perfect. Now you're good. Now let's get out of here before other things come.
So, as a point of order, I'm looking at your character sheet, Rhett, and it doesn't appear that you've taken any spells at all.
I was noticing that.
So, I think as we progress through here, you should take a look at your character, or at the character builder, and go in. And if you click on spells,
yeah, I thought I added some, but now I'm looking and I didn't. So I will go ahead and
go and add yourself a couple cantrips and some spells, because some of the you might know a spell that could help someone that is hurt. Maybe might be helpful.
I'll get on that as we start walking.
So you guys start moving away from the mountains in the northwestern direction. You carry on for another couple hours. It is extremely cold. You are thankful for all of your extra snow gears. You're able to kind of bundle up and keep yourselves warm enough to survive. You kind of trudge through, crunching the snow underneath your feet as you do. And you make your way kind of to the top of one of these hills, hoping to kind of get a better vantage point of what it is around you. As you get up there, you notice the visibility has gotten a lot clearer. You can actually see fairly well around you to get your bearings. Directly west of you is kind of a mostly frozen kind of stretch of thin lake. To the north of you, you think you see lights. Maybe of a city. Below those lights, you see what might be a path. Almost could be a road, maybe even more than one, between you and this place. And off to the east and to the northeast, you just see continued hills of snow.
There's lights. Let's get going.
Yeah, we should try and get to the town or whatever it is. If
If there's
can.
shelter, I'll be happy.
At this point, you already notice that it seems like the light is beginning to fade.
And at this point, Tika is going to start hurrying on her little hooves, moving towards the town as quickly as possible because she knows what's in a town. Alcohol.
Does it look like we'll arrive before nightfall at our current pace?
That depends. You guys feel like you've been moving a little slow through the snow.
Wait, hold on a minute. We need to find a way to get there more quickly. I have a shield. Does anyone else have anything that would be sled-like to get us down this hill toward the city?
I'm gonna go ahead and give you a little DM freebie on this one. Someone look down at your feet.
We haven't been wearing snowshoes the whole time. But like, can I still sled down the hill to
Oh,
the
you
city?
absolutely can go and sled down this hill.
The rest of you all strap on your snowshoes. I'm gonna see if I can sled down to the city and find out what we're facing.
You certainly won't be able to sled all the way to the city, but you can certainly sled down to the bottom of the hill. There are no trees. It is literally just a hill. A little bumpy in spots, but as you look down, you think you might be able to be all right. Save some time. But then you would be separated from the rest of the group, waiting for them to catch
Tika
up.
has been wearing them, but with her hooves, because she put it on immediately when they got them. But with her hooves, she's been struggling. It's not been easier. It's been harder because they're like feet, not. And so she point. Didn't you have a shield? Or do you not have a shield?
Who?
You. So
Yeah,
I'm, like,
that's what I
looking at
said.
you.
I want to take the shield and ride it like a sled down the hill to get closer to the village.
Could two people fit on the shield? Does anybody else have a shield?
I don't have a shield.
I don't have a shield either.
I mean,
Well-
you could go.
I mean, I'm rather a small person. Perhaps I could fit one other person with. Tika, you've shared your fur with me, and you seem like you might be able to hop aboard. I mean, it's not going to get us all the way to the city, but at least down this hill a little more quickly.
And maybe we can get help, or at least get somebody out if we need them in case anything attacks you guys. So let's go. And she's gonna jump on the back of the shield and just kind of shove off and pushing them down the hill.
Tika, I need you to give me a strength check.
Dang it.
And Estia, I need you to give me an acrobatics check.
5. So as she obviously tries to push the shield, nothing happens.
21 for Estia.
So Estia, as Tika kind of jumps on your back it kind of catches you off guard. You're not really expecting her to just jump on you like that. But that being said, you immediately grip on to the sides of the shield and are able to kind of steady yourself. Tika, you jump on very awkwardly and try and grab on to Estia. And as you do, your snowshoes slide off of each of the sides of this shield, and you basically just like go whoop, and you fall backwards. And Estia starts going down the hill, and you are left there, hooves and hands in air on your back in the snow at the top of the hill.
Sounds very, very Tika. So
Estia,
as she lands on her butt and watches Estia sail down the hill, she looks back. I guess we walk. And she's going to get up, brush the snow off, and continue trotting along in her snowshoes and all.
Estia,
You just can hear Estia going, whee! All the way down the hill.
You're having a great time down this hill. You're kind of leaning as you go, trying to kind of, take some easier bumps. You maybe take a bump here or there, but you're able to kind of slide down to the kind of bottom of this hill, and a little ways in front of you, you see what appears to be a well-traveled path.
Can I yell back up to them that I found a path?
Sure.
Estia yells back up to them that she found a path.
Tika's going to yell back, "We're coming!" And continue trotting down, tripping a few times on the way down.
Estia's gonna look either way down the path and see if there's any signposts or other travelers, just any signs of civilization.
There's nothing in way of signage at this juncture. You're kind of what appears to just be in the middle of a path. However, as you kind of look ahead, you see that it appears to be that there's not just one path, there's another path directly on the other side of it. It's just kind of seems odd to you, but almost like they're two separate roads.
All right, so as she's kind of waiting for the rest of the group to walk down the hill, she's gonna pull out her map and see if she can make heads or tails out of this two-path situation here.
All right, you want to give me I'm gonna call that a survival check, map reading.
Okay.
The rest of you at this time are making your way down the hill.
Walking fast. 17.
All right. So while you've got time, you kind of I imagine you take your shield and just kind of plop it down behind you and kind of
Put
sit
my
on top of it to
backpack.
keep your butt out of the cold.
Yep.
And you're sitting there looking at the map, and you're like, mountains and hill and two roads. And there's a number of different places that converge with two roads, but not many.
But I also know that there's that icy water to the west.
Exactly. There's not a whole lot of places that have that kind of icy water to the left, because there's literally only one place on the entire map that has mountains facing northwest with water to the west.
Oh, I think I know where we
and two
are.
roads. And you find
So
yourself
we must be east of Lake Dinishir, and East Haven is the city we can see.
You are just south of East Haven, correct? Which means you guys must have dropped in, teleported on that mountain range directly kind of southeast of East Haven. So you guys went west a little bit, crawled up to the top of that big kind of snow mound, and then are able to travel north to get to East Haven.
So as Tika finally makes her way down to the bottom, do we make it safely?
Yeah, 100%. It's a nice, easy hill.
Sit down to the bottom. She looks over at Estia. Do you have any idea where we are or where we can go?
Well, if I'm understanding this map correctly, she's gonna kind of sprawl it out, on her lap. This icy water over here must be red waters. With the two paths here, it can only be leading us to East Haven, which means We might make it not long after nightfall.
Then we better keep moving, because I don't want to be trapped out here at night. It's scary enough during the day. Lead the way.
Drathar, we need to catch up with these guys.
I believe we probably should. They're definitely an interesting group, those two.
I mean, you three came down the hill
Interesting.
together.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
I said the three of you came down the hill. Tika, Drathar, and Poppy, you all three came down the hill together.
Okay.
It was only Estia that was kind of off in the head.
Which two are you referring to, Drathar?
Tika's definitely an interesting one. Hopefully she
I would hope so.
gets her hooves under her much better soon. Gets acclimated to this.
It's a little cold, and I've had a little... You know what would be good during the cold?
Probably
Not
less
being out in
alcohol
the
right
cold?
now.
Considering the situation we're in, I think everyone has behaved admirably. Now let's head to the town and get some rest.
Yeah. Tika, let's wait to
Agreed.
celebrate until we get to town.
Yes, drink all you want in town, not outside town. I'd rather not be attacked when everyone's drunk.
Yeah.
Estia is going to hoist all her gear, her shield, her backpack, her giant axe, and then just start walking. She's going to go, because of her map, she's going to go to the second path and then start following that up towards East Haven.
So as you follow this path up to East Haven, it takes you another couple hours. The path certainly makes it easier for you all to walk, including you, Tika. The snow's not as deep because it's been tamped down. Despite there being new snow, at least the fact that there's a path here makes life way easier. You're able to follow this path, and just after nightfall, you're able to reach East Haven. Now, you're coming in from the eastern side of East Haven. You kind of see these kind of more modern looking homes, right? There's a really nice construction to them. They look very much like architecture you've seen in big cities like Neverwinter. Very forward looking in terms of how everything is. You immediately kind of get this sense of relief that you have found a place that appears to be of civilization. There are kind of bright street lamps that are lit now that it's dark. In fact, as you look up at the sky, you can start to see what look like aurora borealis kind of going in all directions. It's beautiful. And you start looking around for people.
And a bar. Or a tavern. Or in.
Estia would just like stand in the gateway and just be looking in awe at the northern lights, at the light show, just absolutely just soaking it in. Like oblivious to anything else happening, just this.
Yeah, there's
And
no...
she's just gonna kind of whisper under her breath, I've only read about things so beautiful.
Tika, on the other hand, is going to kind of push past her into the gates, not push, but like go past her and immediately start looking around, trying to find the nearest inn, tavern, or bar.
Yeah, keep in mind, this is not a gated city or anything like that. It's just
Okay.
a town up on a hill. There's the 10 Towns is very open. I mean, it's in the middle of nowhere in Icewind Dale. There's no real need for extreme fortification like there would be in the lower territories of Faerun, right? These towns kind of band together for survival. So as you're walking into town, it's literally, you're walking into homes. It's kind of just be a normal place. You kind of creep in, and there's an absence of people that is almost weird at this point.
I
Tika,
do
you
a
start looking
perception
around
check?
for people.
Can I do a perception check?
Sure.
Perception plus 4. One sec. All these little things. Okay. Oh, 10. Or 6, excuse me.
Okay.
I guess I'm not showing much. or
Anyone
seeing
else
much.
want to try?
Yeah, I'll give it
Esty
a
is
try.
just looking at the lights. She's still
17.
11.
As you all kind of look around trying to figure out what's going on. I mean, this is it's a very big town. Like, as you've approached this town, you see kind of a ton of houses, buildings as far as you can see now that you're up to the edge of this town. You're kind of looking around. You see that it's well lit, but the fact that there's no one around just is very odd. What is it, Drathar? That's your higher roll?
Yeah.
Drathar, you kind of start looking down some streets and kind of take a minute to just kind of close your eyes and listen. And you notice a bright spot a little ways away from you. A place that seems a little kind of lighter than anywhere else around you. You smell what smells like the sharp smell of smoke, and think that you hear on the wind kind of a faint kind of chattering of people west of you.
I will tell everyone about it. I'll be like, hey guys, I believe there's something down this way. I see what looks to be like some light. Maybe we should head down this way.
That looks like a party. Let's definitely go. And she's gonna lead the way.
I'll
Esty's
follow
gonna
behind
shake
Tika.
out of her awe of the lights and follow after.
You make your
I'm
way
gonna follow.
a good bit westward into the city, following the roads until you get kind of towards almost the western edge of town. It looks kind of eerie to be so, but the frozen lock kind of comes right up to the edge of town, and you can kind of almost see docks coming off of it in the distance. But when you finally get to where all the people are, you begin to see this enormous crowd, people standing out, huddled together, holding torches to keep the area lit, because again, it's nighttime at this point. And as you draw up, there's this huge concentration of people around what you must assume to be some kind of a town gathering hall, if not the town hall. You see a man tied to a stake with wood all around the base. People shouting, "Burn him! Burn the murderer! Burn him! Sacrifice for Oriel! Burn him now! Get him! He doesn't deserve to live!" And other people
Esty's
just
gonna-
cheering.
I think Estia would walk up to the closest person, whoever's at the back of the pack, just kind of tap their shoulder and be like, "Who's getting burned? What's happening?"
This person kind of turns to you. It's a human-looking person, kind of hood up, kind of turns to look at you. They're holding a torch. "They're burning a murderer. Come on and watch. It'll be fun. These don't happen often." And then turns around and starts cheering. "Burn it! Burn him!" As you approach the grisly scene and all the people kind of huddling, almost encroaching closer and closer to this scene, you see what must be someone related to kind of the local militia, right? Or guard or whatever, kind of stands up. And it's this woman, a half-elf, from what you can tell. Light shining on her face as she stands with a torch in her hand. And she speaks. This man was apprehended after committing many murders on local adventurers. He will now pay for his crimes in the only way applicable in our parts. According to our laws, he shall be burned at the stake, not only as punishment for his crimes, but as a sacrifice to our real to hopefully end this endless winter. And as she says that, she turns around and lowers her torch onto the pyre. Dazan, may your sacrifice mean something, and may your punishment be painful. And steps down these wooden steps to the crowd and kind of fades into the sea of people as you see the wood catch around the base of this pyre and engulf this man in flame. He makes not a sound. He resists not. He moves not. And within a few minutes, all you see is flame. People still cheering, chanting, throwing torches onto the fire. You hear some people praying to Auriel, wishing for her mercy. And then you see this woman who just executed this man is making her way to you.
I'm going to walk up to her.
She's a fairly tall lady. She's about 6'2". Again, she's half elf. She's got a kind of a beautiful kind of a paleness to her. Almost like a porcelain type of a effect to her skin, no doubt from being exposed to the cold for so long. She walks up to you. Hello. Not used to seeing newcomers here. My name is Imdra. I'm the captain of the East Haven militia. As I am aware of everyone who lives in my town, I see that you are new, and I came to both welcome and warn you. This is not a sight that you will see often, but this man Dazan was a wizard who took lives of a few adventurers. We do not take kindly to murder up here, especially in East Haven. Those things might fly in other towns around 10 towns, but not on my watch. Keep your nose clean, keep your heads down, and everything will be fine. Now I'm going to ask you, and please be honest with me. Who are you, and what are you doing in East Haven?
I'm Poppy Keziah Lovett. And we were at college and got trapped here after coming through a portal. This is just something that we weren't expecting.
But we're really excited to get to know the story behind it, because it looks like the kind of event that's going to have a good story to tell, and a good mead to drink afterwards to heat you up inside, like the guy who just burned.
Whoa, Tika, we don't even know this man or if he had a family.
Imdra's eyes just kind of shift around to you as you talk, and it kind of falls on Drathar. She raises an eyebrow.
Can you spell Indra?
I-M-D-R-A. Imdra.
Indra.
What was the name of the wizard?
Dazan.
I like
DZ
Dijon mustard,
AAN.
but with a Z.
Yes. He
Oh,
is not
so that thing wasn't
Dijon.
mustard.
He is Dazan.
It's on Muscard.
Extra spicy.
Extra hot.
Imdra seems unamused at Poppy, your introduction, Tika, your irreverence. She seems somewhat kind of at ease with Estia and looks very suspiciously at Drathar. And you are?
Drathar. I was taking a class with these fine people when some
Fine
mistake
people.
happened.
Oh.
And our teacher said we were just going on a little showcase and somehow got trapped here. Avalanche happened. We survived. Got attacked by a giant cat, which was an experience, and then we made ourselves here, where we were greeted with seeing you all.
ST is gonna say everything he's saying is true, and she's gonna reach into her pack and pull out the pelt with the cat meat wrapped inside of it and say, "This is what remains of that cat that crossed us by the mountains."
That would have been a crag cat, quite large. The fact that you four managed to escape mostly unscathed is fairly impressive. I might have some work for you. Come by the office tomorrow, and I might have a job for you.
And
That
Well,
being
speaking
said-
of,
Pardon?
yes, Drathar?
where would that office be?
My office.
We're new, so we are kind of have no idea what's around this town yet.
My office is attached to the town hall. So this building right here. And she kind of gestures over to this kind of rather long building. It's kind of built in kind of a very shorey type of way. There's logs and kind of planks that make the most of the structure. There's kind of wood kind of crosses over each of the windows to kind of help brace against storms. The roofs are kind of a mixture of kind of pitch and, some other kind of leaves and branches that kind of make up almost like a thatch type of a roof to it. And next to it is a much kind of shorter building, and she gestures to that kind of shorter building. She says, this is the militia office. I am in there most of the time. It is mostly quiet around East Haven, which is why, again, I urge you, especially you, and she looks at Tika, to not make any trouble, please.
Oh, I make no trouble, but I do make beer disappear
I can imagine
after
that you do.
I pay for it.
Speaking of both beer and the fight we had with the cat, some of us sustained some injuries. And is there anywhere we could get some shelter for the night and some care? To be honest, I'm just very hungry.
Sure. Just down the road here, and she gestures kind of to the south and also a bit to the west. Look for the White Lady Inn. You will know as it has a symbol of a white lady, and it says White Lady Inn outside. Just more towards the lakeside.
Seems very practical.
There should be rooms there enough for you, hot meals. Who knows? Maybe you could even have the cook over there prepare you some of the meat that you have caught.
I thought you said mead.
Thank you, Lady Imdra, for
Great.
your hospitality, and we shall speak with you further after we've had time to rest.
Yeah, go and talk to Bardabon. Bardabon's he's a little surly, as he's elderly, but he's a good man, and he'll take care of you. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go clean up this scene here and have these people move back to their homes. And she's going to turn and depart. And as she does, you kind of see, I'm able to take in, she has a little bit kind of these big kind of fur, kind of big furs around her. She was wearing kind of a real ornate kind of leather armor. And she has a cloak that would kind of stemmed as the fur kind of extended about, I don't know, good back to the bottom of where her shoulders would be. And there was just cape for the rest of it. And the cape kind of bears the symbol of East Haven, which is this kind of shield, right? Family crest kind of shield with kind of a blue lower right-hand quadrant, a tan or brown lower left-hand quadrant, and then a silver kind of upper half with a white kind of almost like a tower, right? A castle tower or a rook, if you play chess, kind of stamped on it with a snowflake above. You've seen this symbol as you were walking through town, but now you think it must be the East Haven crest.
Pika's going to
Yeah.
go ahead and wave and then turn in the direction of the potential mead and then start trotting off. Let's go! Warmth, mead, meat, and sleep. I need a long rest.
ST's gonna say, Lady Imdra was about as chilling as the weather out here. Let's get some warmth.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Finally feeling like you have a little time to breathe. You survived an avalanche. You were attacked by a crag cat, and you came to town only to witness an execution by fire. You make your way down the streets a bit, through some houses, and off to your right, you see kind of a larger building with a sign hanging out front, which you see a symbol of a white lady.
No. Does it say White Lady Inn?
It says The White Lady Inn, printed boldly on top of the snow-covered sign.
I think I
I
know
think
where
that's
we
where we're
are.
supposed to be.
As you turn your way down the street, you can see people start to pass you as they've dispersed from the event. And you make your way up the steps and open the door to see inside. It's a rather quaint inn, though fairly large. It's got 2 stories, one main kind of area where there's some tables. There's a kind of a really nice hearth on one end that is kind of roaring away as a fire. Instantly, you feel kind of just this warmth overcome you as the air is much, much warmer than it was outside. You can't possibly know how cold it has been because you've been out in the cold for so long, but you would imagine that the temperature is well below freezing outside. The warmth kind of hits your face and you realize that you probably need to make sure that you're extra bundled when you go out for any length of time in the future, because any part of you that was exposed is almost frozen at this point. You see an elderly man behind kind of the main bar area of this inn. you see a few patrons here about, kind of keeping to themselves, looking at you kind of side-eyed as they walk in, and then kind of going back about their business.
Kika's going to burst through the door as she does, because this is a very exciting place for her, and she's going to go straight to the first person she sees that seems to be working there and ask, I've got three friends, a little bit of meat we can share around, a little bit of money, and a hot desire for some mead.
This elderly man looks up at you. Well, I've got 3 things I can give you. I can give you a room if you got money. I can cook that meat if you're willing to part with it. And I've got some mead still from Good Mead and over here if you're looking for something to warm your belly.
You are my favorite person tonight. I like how you think. We'll take those.
Goody for me.
Well, we'll take it. All.
All right. Excuse me. And you see him kind of saunter away from you, heads upstairs, kind of checks on a couple rooms that he has, kind of opens the door, peeks inside, closes the door, kind of collects a key that's kind of hanging from the outside, does that again for another room, closes it, walks back down the steps. I've got 2 rooms available. I hope that's enough. If it's not, too bad.
And good sir, how many beds per room might you have?
The one's got 2 beds, the one's got a bigger one.
We'll manage.
I'll sleep on the floor. Also, we were told to look for a guy named Bardabon. Is that you?
That's me, owner of the White Lady Inn.
Perfect. Then we are in the right place talking to the right person. We'll go ahead and give you that meat and then take that seat over there in that empty table, and you won't even notice we're here.
I
She'll
highly
say.
doubt that. How much
Me
meat
too.
you got? And what did you get it from?
A cat.
We
What
were
kind of
told
cat?
it was a Craig cat.
Oh, you got some crag cat, do you? I can grill up that crag cat and maybe put some in a stew. How would you like it?
I could go for a good stew. You got some potatoes and carrots?
I've got potatoes. It's one of the only things we get to grow up here.
Sounds lovely.
Potato and crag cat stew coming up. Somebody give me the meat.
Tika will go ahead and take hers, which is probably enough for them all at this point, and hand it over. Here you go. We'll be over here when you got the mead.
Yeah, you hand him like a 5 to
Excited.
7 chunk pound of meat, and he's like, "Yeah, that'll do. I'll take this back and get it started, and then I'll bring you out some drinks, mead for everyone."
Yes,
None
please.
for me, sir.
What can I get you then?
You have a nice tea, perhaps? Something herbal?
Sure. And you see him kind of reach underneath the bar, and he goes behind him, and there's a window, and he kind of elbows open the window and holds the teapot outside and then smacks the side of the window, and snow just falls into the pot. And he brings it in, brings the window closed. I'll go get that started for you. What? It's clean snow.
After what we've been through today, I can't imagine complaining.
Nope.
That's the kind of person I like. All right. You see him just kind of walk back. He's not slow per se, but he just kind of moves at his own pace and takes the meat back and in one hand and has the little pot in the other. comes out in another minute or two and kind of brings you out this kind of tea. It has kind of a floral scent to it. It says, we don't get much by the way of exotic teas or anything, but we do have some relatively okay thistle that grows around the lake. Sure beats just plain water.
Oh, thistle tea will be just lovely. You see Estia reach into her bag, and she pulls out this glass jar with a little like cover and a spout, and she's just gonna pour a little bit of fresh honey into the tea and stir it up with a spoon and sip it happily. It just warms you up on the inside.
He kind of looks at you do this and is kind of impressed that an adventurer actually has these types of, kind of condiments, and you almost catch a hint of jealousy on there as well. He then goes back into the kitchen, comes back out another 10-15 minutes later. It's going to be a little bit on that stew. Crag meat takes a bit to warm up and cook thoroughly. Wouldn't want you to get sick. And then walks away.
Well, what a day it has been.
Is there anybody else here, maybe chatting, talking, doing anything?
There are other people around you. They're very, very much keeping to themselves.
Okay. I think our best plan is to eat, drink, probably not be too merry tonight, get up to our rooms, and then figure out what the heck and that one lady wanted from us, the captain of the guard, who Poppy introduced.
Imdra?
Imdra! Yes. We should probably see what she wants in the morning, but more so, we should probably ask her how the heck we get home. We have class tomorrow. Not
I
that
can't imagine we have class after this field trip. Do you realize how far away we are from Neverwinter University
Fell away?
of Adventure?
I believe right now class is the least of our worries.
And just
think
then,
Dreyfar's
you're gonna see this halfling gentleman walk up to your table, hop on top, kind of sit on the edge. Hey, did I hear somebody talking about Neverwinter? You guys are from out of town, huh?
And you, sir, are who, sir?
My name is the Great Ronaldo. I am the bard of this beautiful inn. The White Lady is some of my greatest passions. In fact, has anyone told you about the White Lady? You just look over, you see Bardaban, who's like, oh, can it, Bardaban? Don't rain on my parade. It's not often that I get to do my duty and inform new parishioners about the good White Lady.
Please, tell us.
Well, you see, many years ago, the White Lady was married to a very wealthy old miser who carried a fat stack of cash stuck away inside a chest that never left his side. Unfortunately, one day on the lake, the lady fell in, dying.
Fell or was
No,
there...
she totally fell.
Foul play.
Slipped on some slick boards and full on in. No one said anything of foul play. It was just, what happens, and, she drowned underneath the ice or got eaten. Who knows? But, hey, it's what happens. White Lady down. So, from that point on, her husband would walk the shores with his treasure chest, and the White Lady would appear to him, trying to continue to be with her long-lost love as he was with her. Until one day, the man went out on the lake himself and never came back. It's said to this day that the man died on the boat the same way the White Lady did, and his chest of good old jewels is sitting down at the bottom of the lock.
That's so sweet! Oh my gosh! I love it! Oh my god, that is so good!
Hey, you need this? And he kind of hands you a pink handkerchief.
Oh, you bard types are all the same.
Oh, are you a fellow bard?
No,
Yes,
heavens no.
I
I
am.
am much more
That was
reasonable.
beautiful. Ooh.
He's like looking at you both, talking to him at the same time. And as he does that, he looks over Poppy, and who might you be?
I'm Poppy.
I bet you are. Where do you come from?
Why do you want to know?
You know, I don't get to see many
Why do you
fresh
think, Poppy?
faces up here.
Please.
Well, we're just passing through at the moment.
Just passing through, my favorite kind of people. Here 1 minute, gone the next. What happens in East Haven stays in East Haven, if you know what I mean. Kind of
You may
leans
only have
in.
3
Oh,
beds. She
really?
may need a place to stay.
Oh,
Esty is going to reach out and kind of put her hand towards this bard without actually touching him and says, "You would be well advised to keep your distance. And, kind sir, we appreciate gentlemanly behavior."
oh, of course. I'm a gentleman. I'm sorry. Or are you with him? And he points to Poppy and Drathor. You guess he's the strong silent type.
Poppy's gonna look at Drathar in horror.
Oh, good. So not together then. That being said, I do have a room here at the inn. Being the resident bard at all, it's quite nice, quite comfy, quite cozy.
I'm sure we have our own rooms.
I bet you do.
I'll take it if you tell me a story.
Oh, really? Kind of comes back and looks at you. Well, then. He kind of looks you up and down. I got all kinds of stories to tell.
We'll
Esty
take
is
the
going
lead
to
and
roll
go.
her eyes and then just like get up and walk away from the table to check on the stew.
It's okay. Now that Mom's gone, we can have an adult conversation.
Poppy's gonna like elbow Drathar and say, and kind of whisper to him, "Do something."
The only thing I want to do right now would get us in trouble.
As you get up, you kind of go to Bardaman, and he kind of looks up at you. Yeah. See, you met Ronaldo.
Met is an understatement. How's that stew coming along? Because all I can think of now is filling my belly and getting to bed.
Yeah. Should go check on that. Should be about ready. Just give me another minute.
I'll wait here. She's going to take a seat at the bar.
And he walks back, and a minute later, you see him come out with 4 bowls of this kind of potato and crag cat stew. It actually smells really good.
Do I smell food?
So Esty is going to grab 2 of the bowls from, what's his name? Barbadon?
Bardabon.
Yeah, whatever. Bardabon. She's going to grab 2 of the bowls and bring them back, and she'll look at the Ronaldo and say, "Good sir, if you could so kindly move out of the way so we have room for our stew."
Whoa.
Poppy's gonna go and grab the other 2 bowls. Excuse me.
Oh, excuse you indeed. Well, I see that you guys got your food now. I'm going to go and get ready to perform my nightly set. But yeah, you. Hey there.
I'll see you later.
See you later.
Esty is going to put 1 bowl in front of Drathar and said, "Here, you've earned this. Those shots to the crag cat certainly saved us a lot of more pain."
Yes, not only I wish we would have a nice meal in silence, but apparently we're going to have to hear a story.
Stories are the best way to eat your food. You
Poppy's
wrote it.
gonna
Ty.
walk. Poppy's gonna walk back to the table and put 1 bowl in front of Tika and
Thank
sit
you,
down.
Poppy.
You're welcome. Is he gone? He is definitely not my type.
Oh, please, Poppy, don't pretend like you're not used to getting this sort of attention.
Out of curiosity, what is he wearing, Ronaldo? Like, what does he look like he's dressed like?
what does Ronaldo dress like?
Yeah.
He's dressed kind of. He has a furry collar, kind of around this kind of tan, kind of leather skin jacket that he wears. He's got what looks almost like a kind of a cotton or a wool kind of matted down sweater underneath that is kind of a pale blue, right? So he's got kind of the tan on blue effect with a little bit of fur around the collar. He has kind of breeches that are kind of fur around the center with a leather belt strapped around. And he has boots that kind of lace up around fur from the bottom up around his legs. And then he has a kind of a spot, kind of a sling around the center of his body, which you could assume might hold some type of instrument.
And you said he was a halfling?
He's a halfling.
Estia still doesn't like him.
A
He
whole
always
3.5
likes
feet
to hear-
tall.
I'm sorry,
Wait,
what did
what?
you say he was?
He's a whole 3.5 feet tall.
Oh.
Half the size, twice the trouble.
Mm.
I said he was literally sitting on the edge of the table, like feet dangling.
Mhm.
Well, it's a bed in a story. I'm sure she's in college. She doesn't. I mean, Tika's into crazy things these days.
I'm sorry, Estia. He's really not my type.
Why are you apologizing to me? I was trying to get rid of him.
Well, at least now you both have your own bed tonight. You're welcome.
Please, Tika, you can't tell me you're considering going with him.
A little fun in the middle of the winter.
I mean, he's got kind of a relatively kind of suave kind of look where his hair's jet black. I mean, he's not ugly looking. He's just a little gruff around the edges, and short of stature. He's a halfling.
Yeah, well, it's candlelight in a bar. The lights down low. You've got your mead goggles on.
The mead goggles.
So what I'm understanding is that Poppy, you want to share a bed with me.
Tika, you seem very nice, but
No,
you're
not like
definitely
that.
not my type.
Not like that. I just mean we can share a bed. I was trying to get you guys a bed of your own, but I mean, if you want to share, I'll just drink a little mead, slip up there, and we'll be gone by the morning.
Drathar is gonna be eating his soup, and he's gonna wait until Ronaldo starts singing or telling a song or a story.
Telling a song.
Telling a song, whatever Ronaldo does. And then Drathar is gonna try to stealthily get up and try to sneak behind Ronaldo.
I don't like where this is going.
Estia was about to walk up to bed, but she sees this, so she sits back down.
That's going to be a
Yeah, I was
feat
gonna-
because the stage is kind of in a corner.
He will try it. Because, hey, Ronaldo might be really engrossed with his story and not paying attention.
Okay. You can go ahead and roll stealth.
10.
You very obviously walk up to Ronaldo while he is kind of taking turns playing a little flute that he has. It's like a little kind of pan flute where he's doing almost like a kind of like a beatnik poetry kind of, style where he's playing a little bit in between. Ladies with hooves and horns make my heart burn.
Yeah, we're going upstairs alone.
And Drathar, he sees you and roguish men coming up behind me makes me nervous. Hey, pal, don't swing that way. What you doing?
Oh, I figured since you came and you're offering one of us a room, I figured I'd ask if you wanted some meat. And while I'm talking to him, I'm going to try to use sleight of hand to either tie his shoes quickly together or at least untie his belt. I'm just trying to play a trick on him because he annoyed me.
Okay, well, you're at disadvantage no matter what you choose to do because
That's
he
fine.
clearly sees you.
That's fine. Draythor right now has no care.
I've never liked Draythar so much.
Oh, for an 8. So it would be an 8.
As you kind of like go to approach him, he starts to kind of recoil in fear, and he's like, "Makes me nervous when scary men come to see me. Hey man, off the stage! Get off the stage! No touch! No touching the great Ronaldo! Get out of here! Scram!"
With that, I'll get off the stage. I'll go back to my food, finish it, and then go up for the night.
Tika, embarrassed the whole thing is happening, grabs her meat and just trots up the stairs, little posts, all the way up as she then slips into the room
Which room?
with 2 beds.
You hear Ronaldo go, "Hey, wait, where are you going?" Shucks.
Well, Poppy, I guess that leaves us. Now that Tika's safely in the room, I'm headed off to bed myself.
I think I'll follow you up. Draythar
He's already in bed.
is already in bed.
I'm leaning up against a wall. I don't sleep in beds.
Ooh.
Which
Which
wall are
room?
you leaning up against?
The far one away from the door. And I have all
Yeah,
my
but
stuff.
which room?
Probably the one with a single bed.
So, Estia's gonna look at Poppy. Well, our choices are pretty limited. Share a room with Tika, or have the bed to yourself with Draythar against the wall.
Poppy's gonna look at her choices and say, well,
Yeah, it's like, mm-hmm.
yeah, exactly.
Decisions.
Hey now!
She's gonna look at. Yeah, he may smell, but he might be a little quieter.
All right, I'm used to the noise, and so Estia's gonna walk into the room that Tika went into and gonna plop everything down and lay on the bed.
Tika's already wrapped up in the covers and sound asleep. Out like a light, too much mead.
Poppy's gonna walk in and look at Draythar, look at the bed, look at Draythar, look at the bed. Are you sleeping?
Trying.
Well, turn around so I can get undressed.
I'll keep my eyes closed.
That's what they all say.
Don't worry, you're not my type.
Okay.
And I'm not blue.
That's true. Good night.
Yeah, good night.
A long rest.
As you all tuck into your beds and take a long rest, you gain a level.
Woo! Let's go.
Let's go.
And it was a long rest.
It is a long rest.
Can we
Hey,
And
heal
you
up?
are all now level 2.
Yay.
So you can go to your character sheets in D&D Beyond, go edit them up yourself to level 2, and claim any goodies and abilities you might find there. And as we do that, we're going to call it here for this week. because there's going to be a lot of good coming next week. You guys survived the encounter with the cat, witnessed a public execution, and were able to find a place to bed down safely. GG's, fam.
That was fun.
Yay.
That was a good one. I like Drathar so much more now.
Who doesn't
Okay.
smell?
Doesn't smell.
Can't will that into existence.
We had adventures with no vampire penguins, unfortunately.
No vampire penguins, unfortunately.
Pika was useless. And the
Don't know that. There might have been vampire penguins out there. We
One
just never saw them.
damage.
That one
One
damage
damage?
could have been
One
the
full
difference
damage.
between the death or not. You don't know.
Estia has a giant axe and she did 0 damage. All she did was get bit. That was
Oh,
disappointing.
also, I can heal.
You were distracting.
Well, I know. That's why I said, hey, does anyone have any bandages?
I can heal now.
Can anyone cure wounds, maybe?
Now I have
What do you
no
want me to say?
shirt.
Does anyone have magical abilities that will heal this gaping gash
Did anyone
in my
take
shoulder?
Healing
I have no-
101?
She has no shirt now, so now if she takes off her sweater, she's booby out. So
Oh,
Which in this weather, big problem.
it's okay. She's got her big old fluffiness.
her fluffiness. Anyway, you guys did fantastic this evening. Congratulations on your level up. Make sure you pick your stuff for next time, and we will RP them in the morning when you all awake and take on the day.
And go meet with Imdra.
Go meet with Imdra. Yeah, it's a curious thing. There's a few things I was thinking you might have want to discuss at dinner that you didn't. So I'm interested to see what happens next time. All right, That being
I
said-
got distracted by the bard.
everyone
I was distracted by food.
that was hanging out here on YouTube with us live during this lovely session. We thank you so much for being here. If you guys are new to the channel and you're catching this on YouTube, please make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and hit notifications. That way you can come hang out with us every Monday. And you can also get all of the highlights from our Saturday session where we are running our second campaign, or our first campaign. So technically our second campaign, our Saturday campaign instead, and get all the D&Ds, and make sure to come hang out with us on Wednesdays where we'll be starting up again our Dungeon Talks weekly web show. It's been on hiatus for a little bit, lots of stuff going on, but now we're going to be in the amazing kind of cadence of where we go, and hopefully should have a lot of fun with that. That being said, thanks for being here, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Bye.
Night.
Bye.
But everyone in chat that's still here, that was the official end of show. We thank you guys so much for being here. Coder,
Thank you, guys.
Brittany, Etcha.
Always remember to say no to strangers in bars.
I mean, come on. I'm the great Ronaldo.
The voice is pretty fantastic.
I am
have
not a
to
stranger.
say.
Come on, I'm the great
It was
Ronaldo.
good. Tika's a college student. She doesn't know right from wrong
Bard
yet.
extraordinaire.
She'll learn.
All I
I mean-
saw was a whole lot of hoof and a whole lot of horn, and I was all kind of ready to go. And then she ran. I don't know what happens. This always happens to Ronaldo.
I gotta say, I may have failed, but I succeeded at the same time because Tika went up to our rooms.
You did. You
true.
succeeded in running
I
interference.
liked it.
Darn
Okay.
you blocked. You're a blocker. We're gonna have some tension, you and me.
Tika's gonna be
I'll
trouble.
see that go down.
Hey, you never know. He could be a quite accomplished bard. Especially up in 10 towns, it's no easy place to live.
I feel like in 10 towns, the expectation for bard ability is much lower.
Look, while my style may not be to everyone's liking, it certainly is popular, at least up here. Was good enough to get me in trouble down in the lower places. That's why I had to come here in the first place. But you'll find that out later, or you won't.
Spoilers!
Spoilers.
Spoilers! No, just fun. This is making it up as we go. But I hope you guys had a good time. I'm gonna go ahead and go ahead and end the stream for us now. You guys are amazing. Thank you guys for being here. If you haven't already, please go ahead and like, because you can already like the stream and do all the fun stuffs.
Done.
All those things help us out greatly. And I will catch you guys later. We love your
Subscribe
faces, everybody.
notifications.
Yes, all the things. Night, everybody.